Long time no video. I've been really busy with school. Sorry about the video quality of this. The files were kind of like corrupted or something, so I had to resave them all and the quality went down as a result. Basically, I am doing this to show one of my friends how they can digitally paint without using a line art while I'm clearly resketching the face. I was actually just doing that to make some corrections. You don't actually need to do that unless you want to when painting. But it's basically just blocking in the colors for the shapes of the objects. So like what I did with the eye, I blocked in the shape of the eye and then I'm just coloring right on top of it. I use preserve opacity. In other programs it's called opacity lock or transparency lock. And when I'm coloring in, I'll just lock the opacity so that it only changes the color on the space that I've drawn in. Let's see. I am using some extra layers for certain things, but you don't need to. I just like to. But from here on out, it's pretty much me just blocking in the shapes of the object in just like solid color. And like the reason I didn't do the full arm was because her hand is over her face, so I'm gonna put the layer for the arm that's over her face above all the other layers. Let's see, it just stopped moving. Okay. I don't know why it's not doing anything at this point. But basically it's just gonna be about blocking in the shapes, and like without a line art you can do that really nicely because you get to focus on the silhouette of the object rather than like, oh, I've got to make the lines the same as the sketch. And with this way you're like, oh, I think it'd look better if there was like a little bump there, or like the shape was a little more like this. So like the sketch is mainly a guideline. I usually do like specific colors on different layers at first and then I'll merge them near the end, but if I'm not sure, I can't see, I just like turn the opacity down of other layers while I'm working. So like right here with this shirt, it's like not full opacity because I needed to see the sketch to like block in the shapes of where like the things were, like the tie. But then other than that, it's just like coloring like normal. I use the brush tool, I think it's called in paint tool side. But yeah, the main focus of like painting this way is to focus on creating shapes and going from there. I'm trying to think. I've been trying to narrate this video forever, but the audio, not the audio, the video kept corrupting and whatnot, so I don't know what I've said anymore, basically. But I guess it's just that, is you just block in the shapes and then you like preserve the opacity as you color. And you can like go over on top of all the layers for like highlights and whatnot. I think mainly just use like the brush or watercolor or marker tool to mix the colors because it works pretty well, just whatever you prefer to blend with. Let's see. I did the hair on her head with like the bangs on a different layer than the pigtails, because it's like I guess a good comparison for like how this works is like you're layering paper cutouts. That sort of feeling. But I'm gonna admit with this I was not being very careful, and I did not really think about light source or anything, so it's not as good as it could have been. So if it doesn't really make sense, that's why. Let's see, what's other good tips about this? I guess basically after you fill in the shape, you can just color however you normally like to color. It really doesn't matter, it's just kind of about having fun. But yeah, like I said earlier, if you can't see the details, you just turn the opacity down and paint them in. And then once you've done all the markings, you can turn the opacity back up and paint like normal. I legitimately have no idea what I've said at any point, because I've tried doing this narration so many times and my video was like corrupting, and it was doing this, first of all, it was doing this weird thing where when I sped up the video, it didn't speed up the video, it just made it so the video cut off after it would be the space that it would be sped up to, like 2 minutes sped up double would become 1 minute, so but instead of speeding up the video, it would just cut the video off at 1 minute, so it was really weird. And so I had to just resave all the videos, and the quality went down pretty badly. So sorry about that. I have no idea why I did that. But yeah, I'm just with this painting mainly with the brush because I wanted a harder edge. Like with the water tool or airbrush, it's nice, but like it gives a really softness to the color, and sometimes you want like a little bit of a harder edge, which is why I use the brush. But if you want like a softer edge, like the water tool or what is it? A water tool or airbrush would work fine, but I usually like only use those for like gradation type stuff. And apparently I lost some of the footage too, so that happened too. I lost the finishing touches. That is quite unfortunate, but basically it's just all about blocking in the shape. Blocking in the shape and just coloring like you normally would.